My brothers and sisters, you are now watching the Gamer 2323, so just forget about the chores you're supposed to do. Put your feet up, get your Kool-Aid, fried chicken, popcorn, get whatever you may need! And I hope you enjoy the video. Where does the time go? Where does the time go? I simply do not know. 2022, man, pretty much coming to an end. We have made it through another long, treacherous year. Treacherous year. So yeah, man. I always kind of do these vids, you know, when the year is ending. Maybe it's just when you're like an adult. Like these years, just man, bro. After like high school, bro, these years just start to. This year has been, you know, ups and downs. I've had good moments. I've had bad moments. I've had blah moments. But overall, you know, I felt like this year was pretty good. I did have some setbacks this year, just as far as you know, I had goals that I was going to do this year, and even though I did accomplish some of those goals, some stuff got in the way, but I didn't really let it get to me. Again, I feel like previous years where I had way worse years, though I honestly feel like the only reason why I didn't let like a lot of the stuff that happened as far as like setbacks go this year get to me the way they did is because the years prior built me up into like being able to deal with, you know, certain BS that goes on in like my life. So I actually don't even take for granted those other like trash years that I had prior, because you know it gives you a tougher exterior and it builds you up. It's like pretty much character development situations to where before it will completely like ruin your month or year, and now it's just like, I mean, it still sucks. Don't get me wrong, but I don't let it affect me as much, and I don't get so like down and depressed about it. That was another thing that I felt like I didn't really let get a hold on me this year. You know, I feel like I deal on and off with, you know, moments of depression, and I don't want to like I feel like a lot of people use that term kind of loosely these days, like just when they're sad, it's like, yeah, I'm depressed. No, like depression is different. Like you actually don't feel like living. You can't even get out of the bed. You don't want to eat. You don't want to do nothing. You're just sitting there trapped in your freaking thoughts. And I was going through, you know, stuff like that in years prior, and this year to where I felt like I was slipping into that phase again. I didn't let it happen. You know, it still took, you know, some deep inner will to try to snap myself out of it, but I did snap myself out of it. Like I didn't let it linger how it would prior. So I was actually proud of myself for that, because again, in every single year you're going to have the good moments and the bad moments, but it's really all about how you choose to deal with things, with whatever obstacles that come in your life, whether they're good or bad. How you choose to deal with it, I feel like that's really what you know, separates the more positive, like-minded people, or the more optimistic people from the pessimistic people. So I'm trying. I've really like made an effort this year to try to be more, not even like more, I wouldn't say more optimistic, but when things do happen that I don't like or that like really, you know, messes up, you know, something that I'm trying to do, I guess I'm trying to adopt the mindset of only worrying about the things that I can control, and the stuff that I can't control, that is completely out of my power, don't let it get to me as much. I really feel like I've been trying to make an effort on doing that, and I think it's been working. Other issues, just as far as like family drama, just had to take a sigh right there. Just family problems that, you know, all families deal with, you know, stuff like that. And wishing certain relationships were better. You know, I was having this conversation with my sisters recently about my parents, and both my parents are in their late 60s, you know, and we don't know how long they're going to still be around. So, you know, you got to, you know, make use of what time we have left. You know, both my mom and dad, who I love, you know, and my sisters love, we just wish that they could, you know, do certain things better, you know. But it gets to the point to where like they're both in their late 60s, like, sucker, they're not going to sucker, they're not going to change. Like, who they are is pretty much who they are. Like, you get to a certain age to where like you're stuck in your ways, there is no changing. Like, that's just who they are. So, you know, wishing that they could do certain, you know, stuff better, or just be more of a joy to be around, especially my mom from that standpoint. Like, I mean, Jesus, am I about to call my mom toxic? Like, I don't know. But, you know, she has toxic ways about her that, you know, at times is not a joy to be around her. Unfortunately, because that's my mom. And as far as like my dad goes, you know, just wishing that he had better communication skills, just as far as like reaching out. Like, my dad is one of those types of people to where it's like, when you're around him, like, you know, it's always fun times, and he says how much he loves us and cares about us and stuff like that. But then, in the same breath, like, this sucker will never call you on your birthday. This man, like, never, you know, puts forth the effort to reach out to you. The only way, like, you see him is if we reach out. Like, he's one of those types of people, and it just gets to the point to where it's like, you wish that, you know, they could do certain things better, but it's like, it's too late. It's pretty much too late. Like, who they are is who they are. Like, they're not going to change. They're stuck in their ways, and no one's perfect. We all have flaws, right? So it's not even like really like trying to judge them or nothing like that. It's just wishing that, you know, they did certain things better, you know, especially in your like later years, just wishing that y'all had like a better bond, you know. Yeah, stuff like that. I want to get like too deep into that, but there's just like other drama going on that I don't want to, you know, put out no one's business or nothing like that. But yeah, it's time to move. It's pretty long story short, moral of this whole story, it's time for me to get the hell up out of here. It's time for me to get the hell up out of here. I was actually going to move this year, but you know, whatever, could make any excuses. I also feel like I just wasn't as hard on myself, just as far as like my flaws and being able to accept my flaws and knowing that I'm not perfect and there are things I want to improve about myself, but it's going to take time to do it. Like, I feel like years back, you know, each time a new year would have started, I'd be like, oh yeah, this is the year to where, like, you know, poof, I'm a brand new person. And if there is anybody out there that still does stuff like that, and you go into a new year saying a new year, a new me, just stop it. Stop it. Why are you setting yourself up for failure? You're pretty much setting yourself up for failure. You don't, it's, especially with like stuff like that, you don't just all of a sudden go into a new year and just drop everything about what makes you you, and you're just an entirely new person. That's something you have to grind at and work at for months, hell, years, to self-improve yourself. So yeah, I mean, there's things that, you know, still bad habits of mine that I'm trying to put forth the effort to trying to improve myself. My freaking sleep schedule, like I still, there'll be like times to where like I get good sleep and like I go to bed at like maybe 12 or 1, which is good for me, and then there's days to where like I stay up to like 6 or 7, and you know it always comes back, like, but I guess it's kind of the lifestyle that like that I built for myself. Like, you know, a lot of the times I am up late trying to edit a vid or do this or do that, or you know, but because of all of that stuff, like sometimes I'm like up like really late at night, and like my sleep schedule gets horrible, and you know, sometimes it's tough to break out of. So you know, yeah, still trying to fix that up. And this would be something that before that I was ashamed of, but and how honest and open are you trying to be? Late night porn. Like, sometimes I can't even go to bed without without doing it. And I think I've said this in a vid before. But yeah, that's another thing I'm trying to improve. Like, and it's not like a everyday thing to where like I can't freaking leave the room to where I can't leave the room, and like it's just like 8, 9, 10 times night. It ain't nothing like that. But yeah, at least for me, when it gets nighttime, or how some of the kids say today, demon time. Demon time, yeah, that's when it'll like kick in. And it's like some nights I'm good at just like being like, no, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. And like I have had moments where like I have that self control, and I'm like, no, I'm not doing it. I got stuff to do. But then there's other nights to where it's just like, I need that. And I'm not trying to be like, you know, like funny about this situation or nothing like that, but there truly is like nights where like, you know, my mind is telling me no, but my body is telling me yes, and it's just like I need that. And it's like I don't know if it's like a I mean they do say in like ways it could be a stress reliever. So, you know, I don't really feel like there's an issue with watching porn. It's just like, how often are you doing it? Like, if you're doing it so often to where it's like you ain't going outside, your freaking your keyboard is all messed up and all stuff like that, then it's like, brother, sister, you have a problem. You have a problem. Me, it's just, you know, ain't proud of it, but I do need to self-improve, you know, with that. I also feel like I kind of refound my love for content creation, just in general, with just as far as YouTube and uploading YouTube vids and streaming on Twitch and stuff like that. And it's not like I didn't enjoy doing it like in 2021 and 2020 and 2019 and like years prior to that. I did, but it it was getting to the point to where it started to feel like more of a chore than something that I actually enjoyed doing. Again, because now that I do this for a living, you know, which is great. Like, I freaking love that I can do this, and you know, this is how I make my money. I mean, I don't take it for granted at all. But you know, anyone that does this knows that it does start to feel like a chore after a while. And especially when you feel like you're not getting, you know, enough recognition, or you know, you see someone make a channel and that channel like blows up, and then you've been doing this for freaking 10 plus years, and it's just like, this is all I have to show for it. So it like got into like a lot of stuff like that, like years prior, to where like I was constantly comparing myself with others, or you know, I just wasn't enjoying the process as much as recording a vid and then trying to edit the vid and then uploading it, or streaming for, you know, for hours, trying to, you know, be somewhat entertaining and engaging, stuff like that. I felt like was starting to become a problem years prior. And this year I kind of do feel like I kind of refound that love. Like, and I think it's all mentally. Like, just the fact that I'm able to do this for a living, and like that's a blessing in itself. So, I feel like it took me years to get to this point to where I'm at, like, mentally, just as far as content creation, where like I am really starting to enjoy it again. um and I feel like it's because I'm not like pushing myself to always like upload stuff like every freaking day or so. Like, when, I mean, some people can do it, and props to them, but for me, when I was trying to do stuff like that and like always try to have a new vid like out every, day or two or three, like it was burning me out, so there's like times where people say that, oh, you don't upload consistently. Sucker, when I was uploading consistently, you weren't watching anyways. So it's just like, I upload when I like truly feel like uploading, when I have something to talk about that I feel like is worthwhile of me talking about. I just don't want to upload anything just for the sake of uploading. So I'm perfectly fine uploading a vid every 3 or 4 or even 6 days. Like, that's what works for me, in my situation that I'm in, and I feel like that's what makes me still enjoy what I do. Just from a broader perspective, I just feel like I haven't been overstressing like a lot of the things that I used to overstress. And again, this is going back into, those prior years giving me this character development arc, this tough exterior, to where like I can deal with this stuff better now, because I know why at times I feel this way, or why, stuff like this is going on. Like, I'm just better equipped to deal with it. So a lot of the stuff that I used to overstress a lot, I don't let it get to me as much. I still will, stress about things at like times, but again, I don't let it linger around and like eat at me mentally. And I can even prove this because I remember like early this year when I was going to like the barber, like I was like actually starting to like thin out. Like you could see my scalp, and like my barber was like, yo, I ain't saying like it's time to come home, but maybe you should, go back to like the low cut, because you're starting to thin out here. Like, you can see my scalp here. And I personally felt like it was because, at that time and like the year before, like I was always like mentally stressed. Always. And even again, sometimes it'll like come back and try to like it. I don't feel like it ever disappears, but it's just, again, how you choose to deal with it and how long you let it linger around. All I know is I've been trying to stress less this year, and all of a sudden I started going to my barber, and he told me this himself without me even saying anything. He was like, yo, what happened to your hair? And I'm like, I got scared for a second. He said, have you been using like any products in your hair or something? Because like, yo, your like hair is starting to like get more like fuller up top. And I like literally looked at him and I was like, say psych. I literally told him, say psych. And I was like, no, I haven't been using nothing. The only thing that I've been doing is I've been trying to like stress less. And that was like probably like around like March or April of this year. Like, and like that's actually a thing. Like, some people like start to, their like hair starts to like thin out because they're like always like stressing about stuff, or like just over stressing about everything in like their life. And I don't know if that's why like I was starting to thin out a little bit up top, but yeah, that's proof. I've been trying to stay as calm and as peaceful and as serene in my head as possible. I've been trying to do that. Again, you're always gonna have those like moments to where, you know, stuff creeps in your head, and I still have bad days and everything like that. Don't get it twisted. Like I still like deal with all that stuff, but again, it goes back into like how are your like how you choose to deal with whatever it is you're dealing with. How do you let it affect you? You know, are you gonna let it eat at you and then all of a sudden it ruins your whole day or, you know, month or year even? Or do you just, you know, brush the dirt off your shoulders and try to keep pushing with a positive mindset? You know, and I really feel like that's the only thing that I've really been focusing on this year, because I really feel like we can do whatever we want in this life. I just think it all starts from the mindset. Like if you have a bad mindset and, you know, you don't see yourself that way, or, you know, you're not putting forth the effort into doing things, then nothing is going to get done. You know, so I've been trying my absolute best to keep just a good mindset, not stress about all of, you know, stuff in life that we deal with. And because of that, my head my hair has gotten full again. So yeah, I mean, just like I mean to end off this video, because I don't want to ramble. I guess that's how my year went. A lot of ups and downs, like every year is going to have. It's just a matter of what we choose to do with it, you know. And if there is anyone out there that, you know, your year of 2022 was not that good, hey man, hey sister, brush that dirt off your shoulders. Go into the next year with a clear mindset. It's all, bro, it's all a mindset, bro. It truly is. I feel like how we think mentally is what we get out in the actual world. Whatever we put into the world, it could be positive in energy or negative. That's what we gonna get back. So, you know, yeah, you might be frustrated at some bum ass job you at, or, you know, you might be frustrated in a relationship, or, you know, stuff ain't going or playing in your favor how you thought it would. But and a lot of times it doesn't, right? Like stuff that's been, you know, whatever path you're trying to get to, it's never going to be as smooth and as peaceful as you thought. But at the end of the day, if you get to that goal, that's all that that's all that matters, right? A lot of stuff for me personally, you know, me trying to do this as a job was like a big dream of mine, like years ago. And the path that it took to get here, like I don't know if I seen the path that it took to get here back then, I would have chose that path, because it was a lot of tough stuff that I had to go through. So, you know, don't try to, like, if you're frustrated, whatever, don't let it eat at you, man. You gotta go into the next year with a positive mindset. Keep a clear state of mind, bro. Mental state check. Keep a clear state of mind. Tune out all of the freaking all of the negative junk that be going on social media or the news, whatever. Worry about the people that's around you, you know, treating them with care, treat yourself with care, and go into the next year with just a better mindset, bro. Stuff is going to happen that you might not like, but how you choose to deal with it is going to be how you move forward. And that's really the best that we could do, bro. At the end of the day, all we can do is try. So that's where I'm at. That is where I'm at, man. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If there's stuff that you guys want to share in the comment section below, please feel free. We'll be reading the comments, as I always do. I hope you guys had a great 2022. Let's make 2023 even a better year, and we already know it's gonna be a better year because all those games that's supposed to drop next year, my brothers and sisters. if we get all these games that's supposed to drop next year and these suckers don't flop, next year is gonna be quite a fine year, just for gaming. So yeah, man. I hope you guys have a good new year. To my next video, my brothers and sisters. I love y'all. Stay safe. Stay happy. Catch y'all on my next video. All right.